Welcome back to Anime Fight Club, everyone. My name is Grim. Today we're checking out Baki Dou Part 1, or Musashi Dou, chapters 96 through 98. We're finishing the fight between Jack and Motobe, which I'm super excited to see. In the last video, they ended it with Jack throwing a bunch of punches at Motobe, who's backed against a tree, and it looked as though an explosion went off. So I'm eager to see what exactly Motobe pulled. So here we still have Jack laying into Motobe, and you see him blocking these strikes as he's all curled up, trying to defend himself against these monstrous punches. This is too much. I'm calling the cops. Jack Hammer should have expected this. In hand-to-hand combat, I'm no match for him. I'll have to resort to this. So as we look at this, we see Motobe bleeding all over the place, blood coming from all over his face, and he reaches into his jacket pocket, pulls out a grenade and drops it, all while defending himself against these punches from Jack. Or even if he's not defending himself, the fact that he's managing to stay conscious is outstanding. I mean, Jack is a monster. So an explosion goes off. The crowd jumps back a little bit, turning around looking at it. They all look onward. Whoa, an explosion. And there's dust and debris all around the tree. The leaves fall. What in the hell? No way. So from this image, it looks as though the tree is shaking. He's still going on. He's still punching him. Goodness. So even after that smoke grenade went off, or even if it was an actual grenade, can't tell exactly. It couldn't have been an actual grenade, right? Because that would have blew apart Jack and Motobe. Even if Jack would have made it, Motobe definitely shouldn't have. So Jack still continued even after that explosion went off. What? Come on. What the hell, Jack? I just used explosives on you. So it wasn't just a smoke grenade, it was an actual grenade. And Jack, eyes glazed over, has not stopped throwing punches at Motobe, who's still blocking masterfully. In fact, I mean, he has all his vitals covered. His groin's covered, his heart's covered, his chin's covered, his, like, everything's covered that would knock him out or like debilitate him. Those detonations would have stopped anyone else. Not only that, so it looks as though Motobe is still being pushed back. He's getting faster. He's lifting him off the ground. Goodness. Jack has not let up at all. It's gotten more intense. Man, Motobe's balled up, forced against this tree while trying to defend himself. No. He tries to make this fist. This looks like the same fist that Doyle used when he let off those explosives. But this tree is being pulled out of the ground. A man of such rare talent. I won't hand him over to perish under Musashi's blade. Oh goodness. So even after all of this, he's still saying he's going to protect Jack. So Motobe has... Goodness, he's used his positioning to form a stance that would allow him to throw a side kick. Well, I guess while pressing up against this tree. So this kick should have definitely been a good one. How he was able to have the thought and gather his bearings to throw this kick is beyond me. But he still managed to do so and hits Jack with a mean kick. You can tell how savage it was by all these speed lines on his upper torso. Lands this great kick to Jack. What is this? The street light? Okay, so hits Jack. His head goes back a little bit. Jack's stance changes to brace himself from falling. His mouth is still all types of mushed up from not having any teeth. You get another remembrance of that. That smell. Motobe Izo. USOB. What is he smelling? Huh? Jerk. You tried to use explosives on me. Are you just now realizing it? What were you were you blacked out and throwing those punches? Motobe looks up at Jack. The audience is trying to understand what's going on. You're amazing. For someone to be such a true fighter is a frightening thing. You were so focused on hitting me, you didn't even notice the explosion. Oh my goodness, Jack is something else. But that's definitely typical of Jack. I'm a bit naive, I give you that. I didn't want to overdo it, but it seems I underestimated you. Had I known the true power of Jack Hammer, I would have packed those bombs with more gunpowder. Goodness, so those were actual bombs, not smoke bombs. That was an actual grenade. How Motobe was unaffected from that is beyond me. That might actually just be bad writing, because I don't know, unless he's saying maybe that the armor that he's wearing, the same armor that ripped out Jack's teeth, protected him, but I don't know. So Motobe rushes back in. Oh no, he didn't. Motobe, you see his hands here. He gathered up some throwing stars and launched them at Jack. Jack sees them coming his way, blocks him, blocks his face and his torso, his upper torso, with these massive forearms of his. So they block his heart, block his face. Some of them do still get him in his abdomen area. This must be, yeah, the filming of an action movie. Motobe then pulls out this weapon, the same weapon he used against Yanagi, which was dope. I liked when he used this against Yanagi. He throws it, the weight part of the chain, toward Jack. It wraps around his foot, and Motobe yanks it, ripping Jack's feet from up under him, slamming Jack to the ground, forcing the back of his head to smack against the concrete. He says, but I'm going all out, otherwise I won't be able to last another assault. Man, it's really something to me that he was able to last this one. Chapter 97, Absolute Control. So Jack smacks the pavement, throwing stars still embedded in his forearms, teeth still missing. You could just, oh my goodness, the fact that he hasn't changed the look on his face is killing me. So some of the stars fall out of him and smack against the ground. Motobe snatches his chain back. The weight smacks the back of his hand as he retrieves it. Jack reaches inside his body and takes out some of these throwing stars. And Motobe plants his foot and goes to throw this weighted chain again. If anyone knows the name of this weapon, please leave a comment, because I cannot remember. I don't even know if they told us. He throws the chain, the weight part hits Jack dead in the center of his forehead. Goodness. Then Motobe retracts the chain again. Jack sits up, wincing in pain, covering his head. Motobe goes to spin this weapon. Goodness, increasing the force around the tip of it. So now it's moving incredibly fast. He swings it around, smacks Jack in the right side of his face with it. This should have broken his jaw. If he still had teeth, it would have knocked them all out. So this definitely should have broken his jaw. But Jack is still managing to try to stand up. He was just all the way on the ground. Now he's on both feet. He's catching the blood that's pooling out of his face. Some hits the ground, and then it looks as though he's smiling, maybe. Either that or losing consciousness. Motobe goes in and he grabs Jack's arm. We can tell this is Motobe because we see his sleeve and Jack's bare arm. He grabs his arm, and look at Motobe's hand. This is the same positioning or posture that Musashi uses, right? So he says, oh no, that's Jack wincing. Motobe breaks Jack's arm. Goodness, this might have dislocated it, but I don't know. It either dislocated it or broke it. Then he wraps it over his shoulder and actually breaks it. You see the crack. Jack winces from that pain. Oh, wow. Then Motobe throws an 8-foot, 400-something pound Jack over his shoulder. Wow, what a forceful throw. Look at all these speed lines over his legs and feet. Wow, what an incredible throw. Man, smacks Jack on the ground, twists up his arm and wrist, puts him in some type of hold, forcing his face up against the concrete. 8 foot tall, 400 and something pound Jack. Just all types of tossed around and tied up, beat up by a little bitty Motobe. Motobe is something else. I definitely underestimated this man. So Jack is so torn up. Motobe opened up his Jack, like he let go of Jack's arm and wrist, opened up his coat jacket, and Jack's hand hasn't moved. It's just there. It's stuck there. That's it. Like Jack's done. Body. Motobe pulls out this rope, ties up Jack's arm, ties him up in front of all these people, the crowd still watching, puts Jack's hands behind his back, essentially cuffs him with rope, although it looks like he tied him all the way up. Yeah, it wasn't even around his neck. Oh my goodness, just completely immobilized him the same way he did Gaia. Wow. Incredible. He tied that giant guy in no time. It's finally done. Did they finally finish filming this scene? I didn't hear anyone say cut. In the words of the ogre, Hanma Yujiro, look at Jack's face, trying to soak the realization in that he was just defeated by Motobe. Of all people, I bet Jack just knew he was gonna win this one. He's like, of all the L's I've taken, I know I can beat Motobe. And here's the look on his face, like, Motobe too? Him too? Oh, et tu, Brute. Oh my goodness. In the words of the ogre, Hanma Yujiro, the last man standing in the end is the winner. The one looking up on his back is the loser. And these were Yujiro's words when when Motobe and Yanagi were fighting, right before Yujiro backhanded Yanagi's jaw off, which was wild that he was still alive in the Tokyo Revenge Yanagi chapter. I couldn't believe it, but what a surprise, I guess. Speaking from that point of view, even if I sit down, that would make me the winner, wouldn't it? Oh my goodness, just making that even worse. Like, you're 8 feet tall, first of all. Even if I sat all the way down, you'd still have to look up at me. Jack feels even more pain, so much defeat, man. However, I have a slightly different opinion. And he slams this knife down in front of Jack's face. Absolute control. The power to kill or let live. The first one that can snatch that absolute control is the indisputable winner, with no room for argument. I know it will be your choice to keep fighting until you're dead, but it takes real strength to be kind to your opponent. So I have decided tonight I will protect you. This dude, in these super cool words, man, these super cool actions that he's taking, man, it's just, I don't know, he'd be so much cooler if we knew more of this. Like, all of this would have been, I don't know, it's like now I'm understanding how cool the moment was when he jumped in front of Musashi and blocked those strikes. Like, when he told us later, had he finished that second strike, he would have killed Yujiro, because Yujiro was playing games. Like, that was just, if we'd have known all that, we'd have had more faith in Motobe. The rumors started maybe around the end of last year. The koi fish in Kanda River disappeared. And the unusual reason of why nobody could see any fish in the river, it was almost stuff of legend. A case of, I see it and I still don't believe it. Over there. That thing is huge. It's bigger than a boat. Wow, this is a crocodile? That's wild. Chapter 98, An Enormous Creature. This is a good little spot. I come here often. The fish are always biting around here. Oh? Here we go. Something's caught as real. You see it's spinning incredibly fast. This is super cool art. To have everything spinning like this, I can definitely appreciate that. So something's dragging him and his boat. Whoa. Snatches him out of his chair. Huh? Was it a tuna? Huh? Huh? This mound of water starts to rise up out of the river. You can see spikes in the middle of it. Goodness, this looks like a prehistoric creature. Starts to rise up out of this small river, pushing all the boats aside. This poor fisherman's witnessing this. This Yakatabune boat is around 32 feet. And it is completely mangled, twisted up. A physically impossible feat. It seems the boat has been twisted from its center. What on earth went on here? And just what kind of forces are at work? Perhaps something has appeared. The police and the fire department are currently conducting investigations. Yoshida, the boat operator, identified as Tetsu Takenaka, hey, Yoshida, is yet to recover consciousness and is en route to the hospital as we speak. Hey, Yoshida. He will be giving the authorities some details of the accident. Maybe he can't hear us over the helicopter. After his recovery, he can't hear us. We're getting further reports. Yo, Yoshida, behind you. Here at Kaneda River. Damn it, Yoshida. So this dude must be like the reporter or something. And in the background is what he's trying to report on. And whoever's in the helicopter is trying to tell this dude, look behind you. Something's happening behind you and he can't hear any of it. And something's taking down the boat and the people that were on the boat. Where the koi have mysteriously vanished. He's still screaming, get out of there. Those rumors, Yoshida, it's behind you. And he finally gets splashed with some water. He goes to turn around and Pickle has this, are you kidding me? Pickle has this giant creature in a headlock. Yoshida, turn around, watch out. What a sight. I was hoping when I saw this giant creature, I'm like, it'd be dope if this was like Pickle's pet or something like that. But for Pickle to be out here hunting this thing, I get goosebumps every single time Pickle shows up. I absolutely love it. Yoshida, get out of there. Huh? That man, who is he? Pickle's eyes have glared over. He's in fight mode. He's in hunt mode. Man, he has this giant crocker alligator in a headlock. He's about to take this thing's head off. Man, Pickle's so dope. He's so dope. So he sits this thing back down in the water or whatever. They crash back in this river, taking down the boats that were in the vicinity. Man, Pickle steps out of the water holding the tail of this giant alligator. Pickle, the wild caveman from the Jurassic period, appears. Oh my goodness, I missed Pickle. Look how big he is. He's huge. His legs, his feet and claws. Pickle is huge. To be holding such a creature by its tail, that pinch grip strength, man, Pickle is something else. Is Pickle missing fingers? I know he missed a fang because Baki knocked it out. The crocodile was thrown away by its owner and grew to an enormous size. It grew to an extraordinary size. But in Pickle's eyes, and according to his experiences, Pickle is so dope, man. He's just dragging this thing out of the water. Look at him walking back in there. Oh my goodness. It's just a small dinosaur. He's dragging this thing through this aqueduct. This crocodile is still alive. He didn't even kill it yet. Oh my goodness. In his eyes, it's just lunch. So Pickle snatches this thing through the aqueduct. This had to kill it. Like he skinned it. You can see it trying to crack the concrete. It's probably roaring in pain as it's being skinned, as it's being pulled through this thing. Oh my goodness, what an image. I actually feel bad for it. That had to hurt so bad. And do you understand how strong Pickle must be? Oh my goodness. That was the end of volume 11 of Baki Dou and the end of the Jack versus Motobe fight. Please leave a comment on any thoughts you might have had throughout the video. What you guys think of seeing Pickle again? Love Pickle so much. Please hit the thumbs up, share with your fellow otaku. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. If you have, thank you very much. If you're a new subscriber, check the links in the description. You can catch up to any given point in the Baki universe or Kengan Ashura. Hope you'll hit that bell notification so you don't miss any future uploads. Hope to see you next video, and as always, otaku